Arvoyarns.
But let's skip to the point where I was drunk, I was homeless, I was trying to make it back to the steam vent I was sleeping on at 37th and Spruce, right? I don't know how long it took me because the snow was going and then the cars were coming. You know, people were blowing at me. So I knew I was on 38th Street. So I crossed over to 38th Street, got across Chestnut Street, got across Market Street, and there's a long block there, right, on 38th Street. Right? You don't have to worry about no traffic, you know, or anything. Right? And I get down and I get to the Wawa, and I sit outside there and I ask people, can somebody get me a cup of coffee or a cup of hot chocolate? Right? It was snowing, it was freezing, nobody was stopping. Right? So I says, okay. Then I say, I'm going to make it down to my steam vent. I must have been drunk. I don't know. I was just depressed. I just quit. I was, the city block, the square blocks, right? Well, here's the steam vent. I'm trying to, and here's one square block and here's another square block. I wound up on the second square block from the steam vent. So this block was warm, right? And steam was coming. I just laid down. I laid down. And next thing I knew, a police officer, a University of Pennsylvania policeman was shaking me, right? And he says, Charles, because I had developed a relationship with this particular police officer. They know, you know, all the homeless people, and that would take time to talk to them. They know the ones that are mentally ill and all this kind of stuff. So he knew I was a veteran. And I just kept him, and listen, can't nobody help me. I can't do nothing. I'm blind. I done lost everything. You know, that's how I was feeling, right? So this particular day, he says, well, listen, come on, get up. I'll take you and get you something to eat, right? And then, you know, we'll take you to the library or something like that. Couldn't walk. I got up and fell right back down. Got to get up and got on my knees. Tried to get up and just fell right back down. Right? I couldn't feel from the top of my knees down to I couldn't feel them. You know, I couldn't feel them. He says, well, you got to go to the hospital. I says, man, I don't want to go to the University of Pennsylvania because they know I'm homeless and they're just going to let me lay there and all that kind of stuff. He says, I'm taking you to the VA. Are you sure you're a veteran? I said, yeah, I'm a veteran. Right? So he took me there and he explained to them, listen, this guy's homeless. He doesn't have much vision, right? And he can't walk, right? So he took me to the emergency ward. And that's where they kept me for 17 days. It took 9 days, 10 days before I could stand up on my own 2 feet and balance on a walker. Right, and then they realized I was blind. They said, how are you homeless and blind? You gotta be crazy to be out there like that. I says, yeah, well, I guess I'm crazy, but I'm not worth nothing. That's
You're
what I told
definitely crazy, Charles.
I said, I guess I'm not worth nothing. That's how I felt. No, I'm telling you, I'm not worth nothing. You know, I mean, whatever my family did to God or I did to God, you know, I wish you would just take me. I'm tired, y'all. Can't nobody live like this. That was still my mindset when they had me in the VA hospital.
This is 97?
No, this is 96.
Okay.
November 96. It was that snowy. And it was in the winter. It may have been, no, it was right after Thanksgiving. They would know what day it was, but it was the winter time. It snowed. We had those terrible snows in 96, the winter in 96. Right? So that's when GW came to me. He's the visual impairment specialist at the VA. He says, listen, my name is George Stillwell, and I hear about you. He says, I'm here to help you. I says, how can you help me, man? I'm blind. I'm not worth nothing. He says, yes, you are. He says, I handle all the blinded veterans. And, you know, trust me, your life is worth living. If you were a soldier, you can fight this battle and this war too. So he says, but whatever you do, I just want you to promise me that you'll make every effort to stay sober and be honest with me. And I'll use all the resources that the VA has to offer to you to get you together, and there's no time limit. He says, we don't do that to a veteran. We find a veteran that really that needs help, and they're willing to follow the rules and do what we say do, and not if you make a mistake, if you get high again, come right back to us, right? Something inside of me said, try it. I believe this guy. Right? Still don't know what he looked like.
Right,
I believe this guy.
Now, is this the first person that was speaking to you just like that?
Mm-hmm.
And it's been 9 years? Or 8 years? It's been 8 years since
Yeah, not 89, 7 years.
Okay,
89. I went on the streets. I became homeless in 90. I started going blind in 88. And 89, I only had between 3 o'clock and 5 o'clock. I didn't realize that till after I, started getting educated and what kind of sight I had there. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, first thing we're going to do is get you Social Security, right, or disability. I says, how? I'm blind. He says, because you're qualified for it. We'll take the test and everything. The government will file the papers and everything. Then we'll get you blind rehab, right? And then we get you detox blind. The whole list of everything I needed, right? Mm-hmm. And we'll get you mental health, and we'll get you housing, right? All the vocational training you need as a blind person, we'll do for you. He says, the program is 3 to 6 months for the blind person, right? I says, yeah, okay. I'm hearing all this stuff, but it's hard to believe that somebody's going to do all this for me, especially the military. When they said, well, you can't go to combat with a leg like that, so But I'm a veteran. At least I put forth the effort. I went through the training and everything, and I couldn't help that. They jumping out of the plane did something to me. Yeah. So that was the beginning. In 1990, and they sent me from the VA to the Philadelphia VA to Coatesville for detox. Well, for rehab, drug and alcohol rehab. I detoxed in the VA. They sent me there. I stayed there, which is a 28-day program, but GW was working with the VIS coordinator out there, and they kept me there for 2 months until they had a bid for me in West Haven, Connecticut, the Eastern Regional Blind Rehabilitation Center. Huh. Right. I went there and I met all these blind guys.
Wow, what was that like?
Oh man, it's speechless. All these guys that were visually impaired or blind, and and one of them was in a wheelchair because he was visually impaired. He had poor vision. Didn't have any legs, right? And they were talking about
he was blind and he didn't have legs.
Yeah. You're a veteran. You find a lot of messed up people in the VA. That are he was a Vietnam vet. You find a lot missing. And all these guys talked about, they're going to get better, right? Or they're going to say, okay, I'm going to listen to these guys. And the instructors were coming there. So they said, the first thing we have to teach you is, how's your hearing? I says, my hearing is too darn good. Sometimes I want to close my ears because I don't know what's happening.
Sometimes you want snow.
Pardon me?
Sometimes you want snow.
Yeah. So, sometimes I want to know what all these sounds are. Right? It's the first thing we got to do is got to teach you to only hear through like 3 or 4 straws in each ear. You want to block out everything else except 3 or 4 sounds in each ear.
That's interesting, yeah. Whoa.
How do you do that? We're going to make sounds. And we're going to make sounds on your right side. We're going to make sounds on your left side. Right? We're going to make sounds in front of you with stockings, with paper, with all kinds of stuff. Right? So you'll know what's safe and what's danger. Right? Cool. We're going to put you, up there they understood. The people that work at the blind rehab, and West Haven Connect, all of them for the VA, they know what blind people need to understand about themselves.
Mm.
You know, you need to understand that if you can navigate using your senses, you know, you're better than this person who got sight, right? You have value, you know, you aren't worthless.
Yeah.
Right? And then they teach you how to type. That's the next thing you learn is how to type, right? I'm gonna type it. Here's some marks here, and you're gonna take your time. And these are the things, you know, ASDF, GHJKL semicolon, and then above. Then you learn one key below and one key below above, you know, and you got as much time as you need. And the typewriter's talking to you at the same time, right? I've never seen a talking typewriter. It's cool. Let's show them my watch.
Yeah.
Okay, that's how I tell time. We have talking watches, right? So that was one of the first things. They taught me how to get me a cane. They told me how to walk, right? You know, as far as using the cane to make sure that there was nothing in front of you, just making sweeps of 6 inches to each side, right? Paying attention to what you're doing. Feel your facial vision. There's movement everywhere. You know, so all of a sudden the stuff I was feeling outside and things I tell you I use now, they taught me that that's what all these things mean, being blind, right? And you use them to the best of your ability.
Arvoyarns.